This is starting five. It's been a while since we've done these. Again, we were out of commission last week. I was traveling. Carter was stuck at home. And then we tried to record an episode with DK over the weekend and had video problems. That's how rusty I am personally on the editing side. Can't even edit a normal video. Can't even access the video when we're done. So hopefully this works because we have a lot of shit to talk about, Cart.
We do. And you know what? I'm manifesting a great episode. I think we're going to have a good one. I think there's going to be a little bit of positivity worked in there by me. Got some nice light. I'm actually going to light a candle just to get some good vibes going for the starting five. You know, got a little island retreat candle right here. Got some good vibes going on. If I had some incense and some sage, I do a little Kyrie action going on. But I think we're going to have a good episode.
What's
manifesting it?
What does that island candle smell like? Do we have any good beach aromas going on?
Let me see what's going on here. Okay, I know I said I was trying to be positive, but like I thought this was going to be like some Caribbean type, beach, and it's really giving off like Grand Haven vibes, and I'm not okay with that.
Smell like
that's not an island. That's a beach.
That's tough.
That's okay though.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thought that counts, right? You've clearly put some effort and intention into setting the tone for this episode, and I appreciate that. We're going to hit on a variety of things, both NBA and college basketball related. A lot of Michigan State stuff today and a lot of Big Ten stuff, as always. First, though, this is the first time we talked since the NBA lottery happened a week ago. The Detroit Pistons land fifth, which was not the worst case scenario, but it was somewhat close. We certainly felt that we were very close to the end of this rebuild. All we really needed was one of the top three. And I think you and I felt very good about the Pistons' chances to go in and contend for years to come. Instead, they fall to fifth. Now, you and I, for weeks leading up to this, have gone through every cycle of conversation we possibly could. And I remember specifically saying to you shortly after the NCAA tournament, this is not a bad draft to fall down to like fifth or sixth in. Because I think there are some really good players there. I also think the Pistons find themselves in a spot where some of the teams ahead of them might screw this up. They might stumble into one of the best players. What was your immediate reaction to falling to fifth draft?
I was distraught. I'm not going to lie to you. I was hurt. Like you said, I was fully prepared to get to that top three and take another huge step in the rebuild. So my initial just reaction was I was pissed. I was very, very pissed. And I think I texted you, sent you a voice note with some anger in it. But after just kind of taking a step back, like you said, I think that there is a great chance that we could get a really good player at five. Also, there are some teams in front of us, the Kings, that are prone to making mistakes. And God forbid somebody slides to us. That'd be an even better position to be in, I think. My main dilemma in this draft is that right when we got the fifth pick, the immediate player that came to my mind was like, okay, let's get Keegan Murray at five. I think Keegan Murray will be at five. I think he'll be good for the Pistons. I think we can plug and play him right away. That's a good pick. We love Keegan Murray. I love that pick. Now, as the time has gone on, the Shaedon Sharpe propaganda has taken over. I might want Shaedon Sharpe.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
he can jump really high, Greg. Really, really high.
Yeah, but I hate drafting guys because he can jump high, but he can't jump high. I was going to say, like, right now, today, stack rank Keegan, Jaden Ivey, Shaedon Sharpe for me. Those three. Keegan, Jaden, Shaedon. Who do you want the Pistons pick?
Fire a little alliteration or whatever word that is. Give me, I think I'm not sure if you said it was in this order, but for me, it's Keegan, Shaedon, Ivey.
Keegan, then Shaedon, then Ivey. Okay. I think that's where I'm at right now, too. Although, like you said, I'm slowly talking myself into Shaedon just for the upside. And I texted you this, but this is why. Keegan, to me, is a no-brainer 18 to 20 a game guy for probably 11 years, which is great. We should probably just take that guy, right? Like, I don't see how
I would take that.
He's going to be an elite off-ball player with some, I think high post upside as just throw him the ball and let him go to work. If he gets open threes off Cade, which he will hit them at a 40% clip on very high volume. That's worth it at 6'8". Now, I think there's a world where Shaedon Sharpe becomes the guys he keeps comparing himself to. He keeps telling people he's Bradley Beal and he's Devin Booker. I compared him to Jaylen Brown to you. I think like just the prototype concept of these big shooting guards who have 6'11" wingspans. I like those guys. They normally hit at a higher rate as far as star power goes in the NBA than other guys do, especially looking at the guy right beneath him, Jaden Ivey. Like, if the question is it easier for Shaedon Sharpe to become Jaylen Brown than Jaden Ivey to become Ja Morant? I'm like, yes, it is 100%. So I would have Shaedon for sure above Jaden Ivey. I don't think the Pistons are going to take Jaden Ivey anyway. I don't know why. I don't feel like he's a Troy Weaver guy.
Yeah. Also, the fact that if we get Shaedon, that automatically bumps Killian to the bench. I think I'm ecstatic with that idea.
I don't think it bumps him to the bench though. That's the thing. I
think
you
don't think we would roll out there with Cade, Shaedon, Sadiq, Jeremy, Isaiah.
I think Killian's going to the bench anyway. Would be my stance. Even if they just trade this pick for cash considerations, I think Killian's coming off the bench next year. But I think
starting cash considerations.
No, I think if they got Jaden Ivey, I think Jaden Ivey might take Killian's spot in the rotation. I think if you get Shaedon Sharpe, like whatever, Killian's still going to play his 20, 25 minutes a game, which is fine.
Ugh.
Like I want Killian in a backup role. Can he become our Marcus Smart? Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, wow. I didn't know you feel that way. I don't want Killian in the NBA.
We've come so far on this. You and I were so high on it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You're right, but he's a fine backup guard. He's not good. He's a fine backup guard. I feel like by the time the draft gets here, you and I are both going to completely talk ourselves out of Keegan Murray, and I'm really sad about that.
Me too. And I feel like not only are we going to talk ourselves out of something, we're going to talk ourselves into something else. Like, let's reach on Benedict Mathurin.
No, we're not going to do that. He's Ben McLemore 2.0, 100%.
Yeah, I saw somebody say yesterday on Twitter that Shaedon Sharpe is just Gerald Green.
He might be, by the way. To be very clear here, Shaedon Sharpe does not want to play basketball. He's done everything he can to avoid playing basketball in front of you. It's the Caleb Houston, Max Christie syndrome. That's not a good thing. This guy has not played competitive basketball in 16 months.
Yeah, well, at least he's a projected top 10 pick. The other two, not so much.
He jumps high, right? We got
50. I mean, we saw the TikTok.
And
got bounced.
Goodman keeps saying he's the best player in the draft. He was number one on the recruiting rankings. Enough people are talking me into this kid. I don't know. I don't know, man. I want that upside swing is the problem so bad. We were so close to getting a top 3 guy that now I feel like I just want to reach for a potential top 3 guy. But that leaves us in a weird spot. We talked about how we think teams could potentially screw this up. I want to make it clear right now. The Sacramento Kings are going to take AJ Griffin 7 spots too high, 4th overall. It's going to be freaking hilarious. I think the Rockets are also going to screw this up, Cart. I have no idea what that means yet, but I think either Houston is going to trade out of the 3 spot, potentially leaving the guy the Pistons want to get, falling to 5, or using the Pistons as a trade partner to move up to 3. I have a weird feeling, Cart, the Pistons are going to get Paolo Banchero.
If we move up for Paolo when we can stay put and get Keegan, I'll be pissed.
I don't think I will. I know I said this a couple of days ago, but I'm not going to be that upset anymore. Why not? As long as they don't give up crazy assets to go up. I wouldn't want to trade. I would trade Jeremy Grant and 5 for Paolo, but I wouldn't do.
Yeah, I guess I would too. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You know how I feel about Paolo.
You just got to take that swing, right? And there's a very real chance Paolo could be a star player in the league. And if you have Paolo and Cade, you're set for a decade. And I do feel like this is going to go Chet, Jabari 1, 2 in some order. I don't think Houston wants Paolo. I think if they're forced to take him, they will. But I think they're going to look for an out here. And whether that's talking themselves into Jaden Ivey or Shaedon Sharpe or trading out his spot. And then it's Sacramento's Sacramento. Sacramento will not take Paolo Banchero if he's there at 4. No chance. So
does Houston reach on like a guy like Jaden Ivey and like just completely good out of the whole Kevin Porter point guard?
I thought they would. Nima's the big Houston fan that we both talked to, but like I thought Ivy made a ton of sense for them, and he seemed to be poo-pooing that.
Yeah, well, Nima also has Jabari like 16th on the big board, so
he likes Dyson Daniels a lot.
Loves Dyson Daniels. I hate Dyson Daniels. I just want to go on the record by saying that.
Oh, really?
Like I hate Dyson Daniels' top 5 height. Like Dyson Daniels is going to be a good player, but let's relax.
Yeah, everyone is now saying he's a lock to go top 10. Everybody's saying everyone looks great at the combine, though. Like there hasn't been a loser at the combine this week at all. Has there been? I don't think so.
There's been a couple guys, but like at the end of the day, I'm not going to look too much into CAA pro days and Excel Sports pro days. Like, yeah, come on. It's one on O.
If you were a prospect trying to enter the draft who was likely undrafted, would you participate in the combine cart? If you're you,
yeah.
You wouldn't just like lift some weights and put out a couple highlight reels of you shooting step back jumpers and not play.
No, I want some gear, and then I get some possibility to get some highlights. Like if I punch on one dude, I might just find my way into like the 50s.
I mean, we were talking in this hypothetical that you are you. So like what NBA guy were you going to punch on?
I mean, adrenaline. Are you saying? Wait a minute. Where's
I'm saying you're not punching on any guy at the combine. Come on.
I'm not.
No.
Low momentum, jump in the passing lane, steal. They're trailing.
I mean,
they jump late.
Kenny Lofton wasn't punching on anybody at the combine, and
Sky.
I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Let's move from the lottery to a guy who chose not to participate at the combine cart. Max Christie is doing some questionable things. He's doing his press tour right now. A lot of interviews. There seemed to be some pointed questions from some reporters this week on like, so what happened at MSU? And his answer was very interesting. He sort of like sat up straight in his seat for a second and took a deep breath and was like, well, I know the numbers weren't what anybody really wanted them to be, but I think I really developed and grew, and like gave this very pointed answer that just, it seems like there's some resentment there from Max. It seems like there's clearly some resentment from the Michigan State side who, you know, Tom Izzo's now telling everyone his staff thinks Akins is going to be better than Christie. That's pretty clearly pointing some fingers. I don't get who Max Christie is at all. And then the TikTok video emerges yesterday of a bunch of Big Ten guys being asked, who are you happy you'll never have to play again? Pretty easy, harmless question. And all these guys, Johnny Davis, Kofi Coburn, answer it truthfully. They laugh. They give a funny answer. Good personality. Max Christie's just like, I'm not afraid of anyone. I want to play them all again. Like, this dude's just a liar. He's a calculated nerd. And I just am laughing at it from the sides. How do you feel about Max Christie right now?
Yeah, well, Cormax is what I'm referring to him now, on a little mixture of Cormac and Max Christie now moving forward. That's just a lie. Just straight up lie. You're afraid of probably a lot of people in the Big Ten. They were dog walking you. Also, you're afraid of everyone at the combine. You didn't play. So you can say one thing, but it's obvious that there is some type of fear or you not wanting to hoop. Also, he sounds like the rapper Flo Milli, for anybody out there that listens to music. So it's just how Cormac is just like, and I'm always like pulling for state guys, like no matter what. Like if they play one year, they play well, like I'm usually pulling for state guys. But this dude just is absolutely rubbing me the wrong way. And I can't, I'm not in Cormac's corner, which hurts me because I was leading the corner throughout the year. And he turned his back on me and he stabbed me in it.
Yeah, so maybe this teaches you a lesson in I don't know, like what bandwagon you get on for guys a little too early. Maybe you got to see him a little bit before you.
Bro, his name was Cormac.
You're acting like that's a pro for him. Come on,
was at the time that was a pro.
I mean, he's behaving like a Cormac over the last 6 months, really. I would like to know, is Cormac now your least favorite Michigan State Spartan in the last 10 years? Like who's above him on the dislike list?
Russell Bird.
That's so sad, man. I liked Russ. Like at least Russ was what he was. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to be something he's not. That's where I struggle with
every time Russell Bird touched the floor, awful things happened for us. The Russell Bird effect was real.
This is true. Okay. I'm just curious. I feel like there is a good chance over time Max may continue to rise up the Spartan dislike rankings. Do you think Max he's getting drafted, obviously. Do you think he's a first round guy?
No.
I know you don't think he deserves first round, but like you don't think he's getting picked first round. He shut it down. Normally that means first round.
No, he's not playing first round, and in 4 years he's going to be playing for the Vietnam Flyers.
That's so mean, man. It really is very mean. Okay, let's move on to Max's college coach, Tom Izzo. We wanted to clip a bunch of the episode we did with DK to talk specifically about Izzo's legacy. I had a lot of pointed questions for you guys. And of course, the video doesn't work. It was like the universe is trying to tell me, Greg, don't do this. But I'm going to double down here. I'm going to force you to re-answer some of the questions we asked the other day, just so that people can see your reaction on this. I asked you this, and I ask you it again. If you were forced today to pick between Tom Izzo retiring tomorrow and Tom Izzo being the head coach of Michigan State basketball in 2032, 10 more years, what are you picking?
I'm picking retire tomorrow. I just don't think the trajectory on how Izzo will be what in 2030, 80? Like, I don't know. I don't think Izzo wants to coach another 10 years. So I'm honestly doing him a favor. And it's just no. If I'm basing it off the past 2 years too, by the way. So I'm taking the past 2 years and looking at it as a trajectory and where we're going for the next 10 years. And I'm good on that. I'd rather have a little bit of change, new face, new blood, new era. Eventually the chapter of Izzo has to be flipped. I'd rather be sooner than, 10 more years of this, 10 more years of sixth place finishes and 10 more years of not making it past this first weekend.
So that to me tells me that you don't think Izzo is going to turn this around.
No, that's not. Don't try to do that.
You just said if it would be signing up for 10 more years of sixth place finishes.
If he continues on what he's been doing, yeah, unfortunately.
So are you saying he's going to continue on what he's been doing?
He could change. Who knows?
It doesn't seem likely to change.
I mean, it doesn't, but sometimes I don't know. People maybe Izzo, let's say, hits a rock bottom and we miss the tournament or something like that.
That's true. It's going to be fascinating to watch play out. So I sent you a quote yesterday. This was after we recorded the big episode with DK, but actually I'd like to pull the quote up. He essentially said, nobody wants to compete anymore. And talking about why he's staying at 9 guys. I was very confused by the quote because it sounded to me like he was admitting the program doesn't want to compete. Here's what it was, word for word. Everybody wants to know, Tom, why don't you go into the portal and get more players? But we're to the point now where people aren't as crazy about competing. Yeah, you're not as crazy about competing. Like, why are we putting this on the players' cart? Because tell me if I'm wrong here, but like he's going to go into a season with 9 guys. I know everybody disagrees with that already. We don't need to beat a dead horse. But if those 9 guys aren't happy still, he might still lose guys to the portal. Like, you're telling me if Trey Holloman plays 0 minutes in year 1 behind a loaded backcourt, there's no chance Holloman's not happy? Like, you're still going to lose guys to the portal. Go get guys. Go get guys. I don't get it.
Right. And it's such an old school way to think about the transfer portal. Like, oh, the transfer portal is just full of a bunch of guys who just don't want to compete. That's not the case. There's there's probably some guys in the transfer portal that are like that, but for the most part, it's guys that want to, I don't know, maybe get better, be in a better situation, go play for a better team, go play for a team in the Big Ten, go play for a team that plays on ESPN all the time. I don't know. like a Michigan State. Like maybe they just want a better situation. Like it's not always the whole not competing thing. And I think you hit the point of that quote that pisses it off for me is like, oh, I can't make everyone happy. No shit, it's college basketball. Like not everyone's gonna be happy. There's never been a team full of 1 through 15, probably all happy guys. In all on, like completely happy with what's going on. It's college basketball. It's Big Ten basketball. We're not here to make everybody happy. We're not here to get everybody their minutes and platoon minutes and get participation trophies. That's not how it works. You're talking about competing. Guys got to compete for minutes. Play your best players. Dogs are going to play. So the whole narrative that like, oh, I don't want to have that many guys, that's tough to keep those guys happy. Who gives a fuck about happidness? You want to know what makes people real happy? When you win basketball games. You want to know the worst parts of my basketball career? When we were losing. Didn't have a damn thing to do about no minutes. I was sick of losing. Losing is ass on and off the court. So like, I don't know, that whole that's a cop out to me.
Yeah, you know what else is tough to keep happy? The fan base. When you only sign 9 players and you finish 7th in the conference repeatedly. Look, I just don't understand anything he's doing. I haven't for 2 years. That's why I've been screaming about it. But Kansas, man, like they just won a national title. You think that Joseph Yesufu was happy? Like, no. But if Remy Martin broke his knee in the national championship game, they had a point guard ready. Like, go get some dudes who can play. I don't get it. I do think there's going to be transfers out next year. He's going to lose Joey Hauser. He's going to lose some seniors. He might lose Malik Hall. And like, he might, like, God forbid, if he doesn't play Matty Sissoko or if he doesn't play Jackson Kohler enough at the center spot and plays Hauser over him this year, one of those dudes might be unhappy. One of those dudes might want to go back home. So that doesn't mean they don't want to compete. In fact, Cart, the transfer portal is full of guys who I would argue do want to compete. They're leaving worse situations to try to go to a school like Michigan State to play at the highest level. That's what the best players in the portal want to do. So stop making excuses about it and help yourself, man. Like, honestly, that's what he's not doing, is helping himself. It's crazy to me.
Right. You said it. You want to compete. Well, why don't you go compete? Because it's competitive in the transfer portal, by the way. Since you want to compete so bad, go compete against other coaches in the transfer portal. Go get players that you can compete against other teams in the country. Like since this competitive word wants to be thrown around so bad.
Yeah, it's no different than the guys he's needed to hit on the high school trail. I'm sure there's high school players who don't want to compete necessarily, just want their minutes, want other motivational factors other than winning. It's the same shit. Just do it in the portal. Calm, deep breaths. Meditation time.
I was getting a little agitated there.
Do you think?
Okay, Island, Grand Haven.
Genuine question for you. Do you think Tom Izzo has ever seen anything we've said? Because there's rumors of buzz that Tom Izzo's very aware of what the press motivations are right now, what the stories are. He's been given a bunch of interviews. I think he's reading his press clippings right now. He knows people are angry with him. Do you think he's ever seen anything we've said?
That Sleepers has said?
Yeah.
No.
Do you think he ever will?
Oh yeah, he's gonna hear from us.
I can't wait for the day.
We're coming, Thomas.
At some point, there's going to be a conversation had here. I can't wait for it. Maybe Big Ten Media Day next year. Who knows? Also, Champions Classic is in Indy next year, so that's good news for sleepers and some of our season plans.
Yay, Oscar Tshiebwe versus Matty Sissoko.
Hey, DK was texting me last night about how he loves the matchup. He's not afraid of Kentucky, so we'll see where it goes. Which is, he was talking about the backcourt. He wasn't talking about Oscar, but he was like,
I'm scared of the backcourt too. I think Cason Wallace is one of the best guards in the country.
He was like, I don't know who Cason Wallace is, and I'm not really scared of Sabir Wheeler. And
he doesn't know who Cason Wallace is. 5-star Cason Wallace.
He was like, I don't know what he's going to be. He didn't say he doesn't know who he is, but yeah, basically
he would start for our team.
Basically, he wasn't afraid of Sabir and Jacob Toppin. I was like, you do know they have the reigning national player of the year, right? At a position Michigan State has no answer for. We'll see.
I would also take Jacob Toppin on my team.
Oh, you've gotten down bad if that's where we're turning at this point. There's another coach, Carter, who made headlines this week. That was Juwan Howard in Michigan. There were reports that the Los Angeles Lakers had him as their guy. I don't believe an offer was made, reportedly, but it seems that an offer was going to be made. It was at least prepared, and conversations were had. Juwan, we want you. Juwan supposedly said, staying at Michigan to coach my sons. You don't buy any of this.
I don't. I feel like this tweet and like everything dropped and they wanted it to be, you know, a slap in the face basically to everyone to wake them up, no pun intended. But yeah, I just there was just no chance that he was going to go to the Lakers. Like I literally would put it at 0%. He was not leaving Ann Arbor when it's with his son coming in, the movie star, and his other son, the walk-on, coming in or being there still. Like he wasn't leaving.
Hey,
so I don't know.
Walk-on son is glue guy, by the way. He's a critical piece.
Agent Jason.
All hustle, all effort. Jet's a starter, man. He's a Big Ten all freshman. He's everything Cormac Christie was supposed to be, with an actor credit in a movie. So look, I think it was higher than 0. I think that's a little harsh to say there was no chance. I think there's always a chance.
I just think I think the situation didn't make sense with both his sons coming in and what's going on in Michigan, and also just a situation with the Lakers in general. Like I just don't think that would have been the best situation for Juwan to come into in the bigger picture of things.
How hard would it be for you as Carter Elliott to turn down the ability to coach LeBron James?
I mean, it'd be very hard, but I don't have sons.
I assume one day you will.
Yeah, I mean, if I did have sons, I would definitely go coach LeBron. Like, they would have to figure it out. I raised them already. Like, I got them to 18. They're in college. They'll be fine.
That's my thing, is just like, that's a pretty once in a lifetime opportunity. That's not just like, hey, come coach the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I mean, it's also a once in a lifetime opportunity to coach your sons in college.
Very true. Hey, look, Juwan's a family man. I've never disputed that. We love that. He treats all his players like his sons, Cart. He'd go to war for his players. He'd throw a punch for his players.
Yeah. Anywho. I don't know. Also, can you keep the same energy for my Twitter name that you do for Jet, with his name having 2 T's?
No.
You give me shit all the time because my Twitter name has 2 underscores, but we're just letting him add a T to Jet.
His name is Jet __. Your last name has 2 T's, and I don't make fun of that.
You
misspelled it. My first
it.
name had 2 G's, I wouldn't make fun of that. It's the intentional adding of an underscore that makes no sense, Cart. It's just an unnecessary underscore. Makes everything so hard. Like, 1 underscore is hard enough to understand and interpret what that is when you're watching it on a screen and trying to go find the guy on Twitter. 2? You can't tell if that's 2, 1. You have no idea.
You know what else is unnecessary? Going into Madison and losing and then trying to slap the coach because you lost.
Well, you know.
And because you're in your feelings. Your coach can't control his emotions. How does that make you feel? Sometimes
measures have to be taken to unlock the potential of your team and get them as far as they can go in March. That's what Juwan has done every year.
You got rattled. You got rattled by Wisconsin.
By Brad Davison and Johnny Davis. Of course I got rattled.
Tyler Wall had you in your feels.
Tyler Wall was messing y'all up.
We beat them in Madison, by the way.
Didn't you lose at the Brez, though? Didn't State lose at the Brez, though, or am I just misremembering that?
Well, I think we're talking about Madison right now. We're talking about Kohl Center.
Oh, understood.
Yeah. Went in there, got a dub, left without an assault charge.
How come when Brandon Dawson threw a punch, everybody thought that was cool, but Juwan Howard throws a punch and everybody hates it? I don't get that.
Player, coach. Grown-ass man.
Wall person. I don't know. Like, I don't know. We'll continue debating this for years to come.
Hashtag narratives.
Speaking of narratives, The Big Ten is going to be very bad next season, Cart. I would like to propose an official nickname that I would invite you to join me on for this entire season, Cart. I would like to refer to this conference solely as the Little 10 from now until the conclusion of the NCAA tournament next year.
I am all for that, but also on the the topic of narratives and agendas, that means that we're getting a lot of runs in the NCAA tournament from Big Ten teams. No, that doesn't equal each other.
Not this year. Although, like, I hear your point. Like, normally the conference we think stinks ends up making runs. It's not going to be this year. I just don't see it. I don't buy it.
We're gonna consistently stink throughout the year.
Yeah. Yes. I think the Big Ten is long overdue for like everyone acknowledging this conference isn't that good. I don't think it's been that good when they've had the star power. Like, I know they had some good teams last year. They had a bunch of top 10 teams the year before. I think looking back, none of those teams were actually that good. I don't think their style of play translates to the national level. I know a lot of people think this is the best coached conference in the country. I don't see an elite coach in this conference. Is Brad Underwood the best coach in this conference right now? And don't get me wrong, that's my daddy, Daddy Brad. He terrifies me, okay? But I'm just saying, like, this conference is not good. Indiana's the best team in this conference next year, Cart. I made a TikTok about it for Field of 68. I feel like such a lame person who's saying I made a TikTok about it, but I did, and it's good. Indiana's good. They're the best team in this conference, and I don't think Indiana's good. They might not even be top 25. So what am I supposed to make of that? Little 10's horrible.
Well, Indiana is top 25, first of all. Let's get that right.
It's Indiana.
I mean, the talent would just based off them having Trace. I know, say what you want about what they've done with Trace the past 3 years, but they still got him back. That's a player of the year level candidate that they have. So in a Big Ten conference, that's down.
Player of the year? Trace Jackson Davis?
I mean, at least favorite for Big Ten player of the year.
Zach Edey still exists. Hunter Dickinson exists. A couple guys there.
Yeah, but they're not going to give Big Ten player of the year to a guy who finishes like around 7th in the conference, typically where Michigan finishes.
Oh, really? Interesting. I don't think they finished 7th in the conference ever.
Just don't let that second weekend stench fool you. You guys stunk last year.
We're literally identical to Michigan State last year. You're just dissing yourself here.
We didn't start the season ranked in the top 5, but anywho, like this Indiana team, I think it's Indiana, Illinois for me as the two teams. Indiana's my favorite as well. Trace Jackson Davis. I love Malik Renault. I think that he's a pro. I think like first round draft pick level pro. I like him a lot. Jalen Hood Schifino, 5-star guy, winner from high school.
I like him a lot better than Renault.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do. So if we're both kind of right, that's a good thing for Indiana.
Okay. And big question mark. What are we getting from Xavier Johnson?
I'm in on Xavier Johnson. I think he's the best guard in the conference.
Me too. What best guard in the conference?
Yeah. Part of this is Big Ten tournament like bias because he was fantastic that entire week, and that's like legitimately why Indiana made a big run at the end of the season. But like, I kept posting his numbers in multiple places. He averaged like 15, 6, and 4 for the final 2 months of the season. Like, it was a long extended stretch of him playing really good.
Yeah, God, the guard plays down. You got a bunch of Tony Perkins and Max Sanfords. The guard plays so down, people think that AJ Hoggard and Tyson Walker is a great backcourt now. I mean,
process.
Big Ten wise, it really might be one of the best backcourts in Big Ten.
Yeah,
actually.
Like
also Paul Mulcahy's the best guard in the Big Ten.
Well, like, dude, that would be like me going to like a random kindergarten class and being like, I'm so tall. Like, I'm not tall. I'm just tall next to a bunch of kindergartners. That's what AJ Hoggard and Tyson Walker being a great backcourt relative to the Big Ten is. No shit. The Big Ten's horrible. It's the Little 10. Okay.
I mean, you are actually tall, technically.
not tall. 6'2".
Hitting a really late life growth spurt.
I am. Although the back injury is going to hurt me there. It feels like I'm hunched over now. So what can you do?
Damn, I thought we left the bad posture days behind us.
We tried. Maybe that's why my back got injured. Who knows? So Indiana, any final thoughts? Like I think they're going to start the season top 10 in the country legitimately. And then I think they're going to finish the season unranked like Michigan did last year.
I don't think they're a top 10 team in the country. I don't think it's going to get as bad as them finishing outside the top 25. They'll end the year in the top 25. Honestly, top 20 team in the country.
Okay. Can you talk me into Illinois? Because you said Illinois could maybe be better than Indiana preseason. Why?
Well, I think that Illinois is still active and trying to add players. So, like, they're still in on Pete Nance. They're still on Malachi Smith. And, you know, I know that Sky Clark had injuries, but, like, Sky Clark was a 5-star point guard and a really good player. I don't think he necessarily bounced back from his injuries as well as people thought he would. He had some really bad games. But even outside of Sky Clark, like, I think that there's another level that Coleman Hawkins can reach. Terrence Shannon was one of the best wings in the country. I think that's a great addition.
The best wing in the portal, Terrence Shannon.
I don't know if he's the best wing in the portal, but he was really good player in the portal. So they got some pieces there that still make some things work. They can still add some people. Ty Rodgers is a great addition. I like Jaden Epps. So, like, I do like their freshman class. I think they get 1 or 2 more players, they'll be able to compete for a Big Ten title. Just because, one, they'll have what?
Big Ten stinks. That's why they'll compete for a Big Ten title. The Big Ten stinks. It's a little
so there you go. They can compete.
Okay. I like their wings too. Like, the very first thing you said about Illinois and why they could be good is they're still after guys in the portal. That's how down bad this conference is. Like, Sky Clark, I like him as a recruit, but I'm already a little worried that like 90% of our hype for him is that his name is Sky with 2 Y's. Like, I love that. I don't know that he's actually that good. Like, I think they have a massive hole at center. I know Dane Danger looks kind of good. I think they have a massive hole at center. I like all their wings: Terrence Shannon, Ramses Melendez, and Luke Goody.
I forgot about Melendez and Goody.
Like, they're going to be good. They have good wings everywhere, but like, those guys are role player types. I don't think any of those guys become like 17 a game scorers this year. So I don't know. I think Illinois is probably going to be like second in this league, but that's because this league stinks. Nobody's good. I don't see a second weekend team in this conference except for Michigan because they always make it.
Can I get a little Big Ten hot take off here real quick?
Yeah.
There's going to be a Big Ten freshman of the year this year, of course, right?
Of course, always is.
What school is it going to come from, Greg? What school am I thinking?
You're probably going to say Michigan State. It's Jackson Kohler.
No, I'm not.
Ooh. Don't tell me Illinois.
No.
I don't know then. Who? I was thinking you'd say Ty Rodgers or Jackson Kohler.
There's a sleeper pick coming in. There's a sleeper pick that might be playing with a Big Ten player of the year. Might be playing with one of the best big men in the Big Ten, and Zach Edey. There's going to be a Fletcher Lawyer Big Ten freshman of the year push coming.
How much is
the return of the Lawyer redemption tour? It's happening. You can get on the bus if you'd like.
How much is Dave Fife paying you to say this?
What?
I know he's got some free time on his hands now. How much did he call you and say, I'll slide in? If he
left Clarkson. He's not a Clarkson kid. He got rid of the stench.
Dane Fife called you and said, hey, if you say that Fletcher Lawyer will win Big Ten Freshman of the Year and you vote for Donald Trump in the next election, I'll give you $5,000. You were like, yes.
No, never that. Fuck Trump. But no. The conference stinks.
It's the Little 10. It is what it is. By the way, there is one other team who's also still in on Pete Nance and Malachi Smith. Do you want to say their name?
The Maize and Blue team, right?
Say their name. card? Say
Michigan, and they're going to end up with neither of them, by the way.
they might get one. I have a weird.
No. Greg. Let me stop you there. You're not getting either.
I have a weird feeling they're going to get Malachi. I do. I don't.
That is a very weird. That's a very weird feeling because you're not.
Why has Malachi's recruitment been so quiet in the portal? He's arguably the best guard and has been the entire time. Why has his recruitment been so quiet for weeks?
I don't know. My name's not Malachi Smith.
You know who's had surprisingly, exceedingly good luck with really quiet portal recruitments? Juwan Howard. Anytime they get a guy, it's dead silent the entire time. Then he pops up and all of a sudden they have him.
Is it? Like, can I get an example of that?
Yeah, Mike Smith. Silence, all of a sudden he's there. When they got, quote unquote, got Nogel Eastern, came out of absolutely nowhere. When they got Devontae Jones, absolutely nowhere. Like, that's what they do. Anytime it's leaked that you're interested in Michigan, they don't end up at Michigan. Case in point, Sam Sessoms, Terrence Shannon. Like, and look, Malachi's not even putting lists out. That indicates to me he's waiting. What's he waiting for? Some
admissions.
Program. Some big program. God damn it, Carter. God damn it. No, they're going to lose Houston Diabate. They're going to have 2 spots open. They're going to call the guy they've already been talking to behind the scenes. Starting 2 guard. And then Kobe Buffkin will transfer and everybody wins.
Wow, Kobe Buffkin just experience died so quickly.
I love Kobe Buffkin. You guys should try to get him in East Lansing if your coach thought that he wouldn't anger Troy Holloman. Probably would.
I would take my bike and hook up one of those little back stroller things and bike to the Breslin and bike Buffkin there.
That would actually be a good sleeper's punishment at some point, is needing to bike to the Breslin. Wonder how.
Bro, that's so far. That would literally take like what, a day, a whole day?
Yeah, we got nothing but time on our hands. By the way, are you gonna donate your kidney when Caleb Houston is officially a first-round pick? You said you would on camera.
He's not gonna be a first-round pick.
So if Caleb Houston is selected in the first round, you're donating your kidney, right? Or are you a liar?
Well, can I like check to make sure like I can remove my kidney?
Yeah, of course. I mean, do your due diligence for sure.
Yeah, like probably check that it's covered by insurance. You know, don't want to cripple my family with a bet that I made. But he's not going to be first round, right?
I think there's a very good chance he's first round. A lot of people
that is
OKC at 30. A lot of people are saying. I would accept if you won't just immediately donate your kidney, I would accept signing up to be an organ donor posthumously. If you're not already, like you get the little heart on your license, I would accept that.
Okay. Well, I'll work on. Well, he's not gonna be a first round pick, so we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I think he is. All right, we will talk when that happens. This was the starting 5. Please like, subscribe, comment. All of that helps the algorithm. I think. I don't really know how it works. We'll be back sometime in the next week.
And we're back, by the way.